and Ken Squire.
And thank you, Dick Stockton. We're here at the World Center of Speed for the 38th running of the greatest motorcycle race in the world, the Daytona 200. Some 70 riders ready to saddle up and battle at speeds of over 180 miles per hour today. Covering the action with us is Dave Despain.
Ken, with only one former winner in this vast international field, we're likely to launch a new career here today. Daytona really breeds heroes. The eyes of all motorcycling focus on this 200-mile sprint that ensures the winner ironclad immortality in motorcycling. And today, well, that victory could very well go to a new breed of rider. Young, eager, probably American, and absolutely fearless. Brave enough to lay it all on the line at 180 miles an hour on a motorcycle.
Well, David, let's take a look at the bravest of the brave, the top 5 qualifiers. They start 5 abreast. In the old days on the beach, they started 16 abreast. Here, the rows go back through 3 waves of riders, and up 5th fastest was Dave Aldana, Superman himself from California. Flanking Aldana will be the Dutchman, Boet van Doelman. He'll start 4th. The 3rd fastest qualifier, 1975 winner of the Daytona 200, Gene Romero. Then starting in the 2nd position, replacing an injured Kenny Roberts, is Skip Axland. On the pole at 107 miles per hour for the 9-turn course, Dale Singleton, the pig farmer from Dalton, Georgia. As much a story in the back of the field for this year's race as in that front row. That story is Mike Baldwin, one of the favorites, who is starting dead last in the competition after he fell off and was hurt just 3 days ago. We talked to him earlier about it.
I was going out and I didn't give the tires a chance to heat up properly, and I fell off the 750, not going very fast, and landed on a bone that I had broken a few years ago, and the doctors x-rayed it and checked it out. It's not broken, it's just bent a bit, so it hurts. It was sore. I had to sit out the Superbike race, but I went out yesterday in the beginning of the day and felt okay in practice, and I went out this morning and it feels pretty good. So since we didn't qualify, we're gridded at the very back in 80th position, but we're going to give it a go.
We'll be following him from the back of the field.
1 minute away from the start of the 38th running over this 3.87-mile course. Basically the stock car tri-oval, except for this critical first turn where they dive from 180 down to 55 miles an hour, begin a quick excursion through the infield. Then back around the banking, back to 180, and into this tricky chicane on the backstretch that slows the bikes and keeps them from slamming into that 31-degree banking at those kinds of speeds.
Front row, Aldana 5th, number 10. 3 waves at the start. It's very dramatic. Why 3 waves, David?
Basically for safety purposes, to prevent an 80-rider pileup in that charge to turn 1.
First wave is away. Everybody okay. A couple of wheelies in the front row. They're into turn 1. Everybody up. Second wave is away.
Patrick Pons, the French ski racer who has leapt out into the lead as the 3rd wave comes off the line in the Daytona 200.
And that green blur on the outside was Baldwin passing everyone from last. He passed about 20 riders on the start.
Pons has really sprinted into the lead from 8th starting spot. He's carved through that front row. Patrick Pons, 25 years old, a French national champion, here to try to beat the world's best at Daytona. And he has opened up a remarkable lead, Ken. That front 5 are being left behind.
Pass for second place, and here comes Singleton down the inside.
The pole sitter on the move. Dale Singleton, the pig farmer, as the rest of that field knifes through the infield. The first of 52 excursions around this course for 200 miles.
Patrick Pons going to full speed on 2 wheels. Imagine being out there. He's going up to about 180 miles per hour in the next 3 seconds.
Here comes that critical chicane. First time through. You see the next 4 riders beginning to use the draft to close it up on Pons. Now hard on the brakes. The left-hand kick, then the hard right lean. Back to the left as the leaders work their way back to the high banking, and it's tightening up for the first 6 spots.
Singleton in second, and David Aldana holds on to 3rd.
Also running up in that lead pack, Randy Momola among the front runners, and Boet van Doelman is there as the 2nd wave comes through the chicane.
tremendous amount of distance for Mike Baldwin to make up. But as we mentioned earlier, he's already passed 20 riders in the start. Leaders coming down to this critical first turn.
Look at 180 miles an hour, slingshotting by a new leader as Dale Singleton takes the advantage going into turn 1. Axland in the number 2 spot, then Von Duelman and Pons. Aldana is 5th, Romero 6th as they hit the infield, lap 2.
Here they come, grabbing the gears, coming back for the International Horseshoe, about 110 miles per hour at this portion of the course. Axland trying to move in on the new leader, Singleton.
Ferocious competition and a very equal match in that lead six-pack as they hook through the slowest portion of the course, this hard right-hand turn, then back on the gas.
Baldwin coming up through machinery quickly.
He has passed 27 riders in the first lap. Mike Baldwin is on the charge. Baldwin, who started last on the field, riding a machine built in 1975. It's an outdated bike. He says it's 20 miles an hour slower, but you never know it as he charges through traffic, trying to reel in those leaders.
Talk about hanging it out. Look at Mike Baldwin, injured and all, still holding on, and he just moved by the 28th rider.
Singleton trying to stretch out his advantage, but Aldana stacked right in behind him. The first 4 trying to get away. The optimum advantage here would be to get away from the rest of the field and break that drag.
Once again, they hit the western high banking of the Daytona Speedway. And these two-wheelers full bore down that long back straightaway before they hit the chicane. Here's Baldwin still on the attack.
He is cutting through traffic like no one since 75 when Johnny Sokoto, a former winner, moved from 80th to 3rd. Baldwin trying to duplicate that. Here are the leaders to the chicane.
Dale Singleton is out in front here in the Daytona 200. Can he hold on to it?
In the Daytona 200.
Mamola stays 3rd, a very steady 3rd, which is a bit of a surprise out of this road racer.
Ferocious competition. Here is Axland, the bike, with a problem, a mechanical difficulty of some sort. It was a short race for the guy riding last year's winning machine.
Gray-haired gentleman, Kel Carruthers. Look at Baldwin coming on.
An unbelievable charge. I don't think anybody in the place thought Mike Baldwin, injured as he is, could come through traffic at this pace on that outdated racing machine. Look at him knife through traffic in the infield. Oh, those are risky passes.
Yesterday we saw his arm in a sling. Here he is slinging through traffic, inside, outside, passing everyone in the field. Baldwin in those green and white leathers continues his charge.
Here are the leaders back out onto that tri-oval banking once again. The draft, just as it works in stock car racing, enabling the back bike to move up alongside. The leader breaking the wind, the number 2 machine. Now they're 3 abreast as they come to the start-finish line.
Mamola's going up on the outside. Randy Mamola made them 4 deep at 180 miles per hour. He's touching the brakes, trying to slow down into turn 1.
Here they come with Mamola. Oh, he's in trouble. Mamola off the racetrack. Randy Mamola sideways right in front of the leaders, barely gets it whoa before running back out on the racetrack. Ken, I don't know, he may have caught a gear, lost his brake, something. That was a terrifying moment. That's going to put Dave Aldana back out front. Singleton running number 2, but you can bet those guys are looking at one another at 180 and saying, wow.
Aldana finishing 10th here a year ago, known as a crasher in the past, but he's riding beautifully today on the Down Vesco machine.
They used to call him the rubber ball back when he was Rookie of the Year in 1970. So often did he fall off. You don't want to fall off at these kinds of speeds. Oh, and he's wiggling and swerving around on the racetrack. Well, they call it Superman.
There he is, Superman himself, Dave Aldana.
Always good for a laugh. 28 years old, but he's still got that youthful exuberance. And right now, reason for exuberance as he leads the Daytona 200 over the cream of the world racing crop. Ken, this is the most competitive first few laps we've ever seen. Such an equal match between these top 4 riders. They're already overlapping slower bikes. Aldana, Singleton, Von Duelman still in there along with Patrick Pons as they go back to the banking.
Still attacking Mike Baldwin from dead last.
A career as a privately sponsored rider, now on a factory Kawasaki, first time out. Baldwin was something to prove here, and he is just charging through traffic. Remember, he started last, but he's coming on like a rocket ship.
Meanwhile, the leaders coming out the 31-degree banking. Aldana has the front position. In second, Van Duelman going for the lead. Here's Van Duelman down the inside. Singleton sweeps around the outside. Dale Singleton of Dalton, Georgia, from third to first as they get down through the gears on the binders and slow down for turn one.
How quickly they shuffle those spots among those first four riders. That will drop Patrick Pons all the way back to fourth. The United States first and second. The Netherlands riding third, France in the fourth spot. It's truly an international battle here at the International Horseshoe.
At the chicane, oh, we have a crash at the chicane. 2 riders are down.
Ambulance flag waving, 2 riders into the hay bales, an explosion of hay and broken motorcycle parts, 1 bike upside down. Let's see what happened. Henry DeGow and Kevin Stafford contact right there, both out of control, slamming into the hay retaining wall there for safety purposes. Quickly, the medical crews on hand. Henry DeGow and Kevin Stafford.
How fast are they going there, David?
The entrance to that point on the racetrack, 160 miles an hour. Here is Baldwin. He's the first of the leaders now in for a regularly scheduled fuel stop.
He has moved all the way to 8th position from dead last on the field. What a performance by Mike Baldwin.
The question now, can the team get him in and out in the obligatory 4.5 to 5 seconds that means the difference between a winning and a losing effort? A quick shake of the head and he's on his way.
So Mike Baldwin continues to be the story, but just as important, the battle up in front, which has been as competitive as we've ever seen it. Here are the leaders coming through. What's the difference between a racing bike and a regular street bike?
2 750cc motorcycles, but that's the only similarity between this road machine and this Daytona racer. Over here, numbers instead of headlights, racing slicks instead of treaded tires. This fairing is for comfort in the breeze, but this aerodynamic fiberglass for maximum speed. Back here, a cushy saddle for 2, but for the racer, it's a Spartan rubber pad where he wedges himself between the gas tank and the tail section. Engines and frames, totally different. This is back and forth to work, up and down the road, a fun machine. Over here, a serious racing weapon, designed, engineered, and built to win the Daytona 200.
Well done, David, but that particular bike in trouble. Axland is out, and look at this battle for the lead.
Aldana swooping around Dale Singleton as the lead battle continues. They're headed for the pits.
The leaders are pitting. Both Aldana and Singleton, who have never won this race. Top contenders coming in. Here is Dave Aldana, number 10. The Don Vesco machine taking on fuel. There's the fastest motorcycle rider in the world. Don Vesco went 300 miles an hour on a bike, putting his machine back into competition in the Daytona 200. Where they actually used to race. Now it's taken over by a gathering of the faithful. There are actually more people in Daytona for the bikes than there were for the Daytona 500. But most of them are out on Main Street. And David Hobbs went there to find out more about this phenomena of Daytona. Constable, sir. Always call policeman, sir. What do you think of all these motorcyclists coming to town for a week?
Well, a little crowded, and besides the headache, things run generally pretty smoothly.
So they don't give you any trouble, really?
Well, let's just say about 90% of them are here just to have a good time. There's a few here, though, that give us a problem every year.
Do you have a motorcycle?
Personally, I don't at this time, and after my accident.
Ladies, I see you looking at this creation with a lot of interest. Would you like a motorcycle like that?
No, not now. I'm too old to handle it. But I used to have a Harley-Davidson. Indian, I mean, not Harley-Davidson.
You did. What do you think of all these people coming to town on their motorcycles for Speed Week?
I think it's fun. I like it.
You like it? They don't cause you any trouble or anything? You just have a good old time?
I love it. I love it. I love to see them. I want to see everyone and the plates from where they came from. Every one of them.
Do you go out to the racetrack and watch the races?
No. There's too much noise now.
Noise for some, music for others. And what a duet here. Here's Singleton in front, Aldana in second, in the 38th running of the Daytona 200 here on CBS. A great battle moving into the final moments. Into turn one. Aldana goes back in front of Singleton.
Side by side, wheel to wheel. This has become a 2-rider race now. Aldana out front, Singleton number 2. Pons, the Frenchman, has fallen back to a distant third as Singleton comes alongside and retakes the lead.
Mike Baldwin all the way from dead last. He's moved up to 5th here in the International Horseshoe. Aldana with his greatest ride ever stays right with Singleton. Back they go, clashing to the gears of these 750cc bikes. Up to 120, 130 miles per hour on this second infield straightaway. Then onto the binders and into the S's.
It takes tremendous confidence in each other's ability to run this close together on racing motorcycles. One tiny slip, and both these brave men can be in big, big trouble. Here's Aldana right to the rear wheel of Singleton.
Moving back for the super speedway portion of this 3.8-mile course. Singleton in front from Dalton, Georgia. California's Dave Aldana in second place.
At 5'8" and 145 pounds, the leader Singleton takes it all the way to the wall, tucked in like a jockey, but that's a 180-mile-an-hour thoroughbred. He's moving on a left-rider, Singleton out front.
Aldana back a ways. Remember, down this long back straightaway where we saw Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison twisting metal not too long ago, these riders will come to a chicane. Here they are, slowing down on the binders into this very difficult part of the course.
Right here, Henry DeGao and Kevin Stafford crashing a few laps back. The good news is they're both okay. Traffic in front of the leaders as Singleton and Aldana go at it in the Daytona 200. Look at the draft come into play here.
And this is where the automobiles learned about it. First from bicycles, then motorcycles. Here's Aldana closing. Aldana pulling up for another stroke at that lead. And something's happening. Aldana is slowing down. Aldana dropping off the draft to the inside, Dave Biscayne.
It's an obvious mechanical problem of some sort, and it's brought low the chances of Dave Aldana. Singleton is out front all by himself. The pig farmer from Dalton, Georgia, owns the Daytona 200, and a frustrated Dave Aldana beating on the gas tank.
Superman, number 10. Dave Aldana will not be Superman today. Back to Clark Kent for him. That's disheartening. Aldana, one of the most likable people in the American Motorcycle Association road racing group, and he's out of it.
But the pride of Whitfield County, Georgia, Dale Singleton, 23 years old. The pig farmer is headed for the barn now. He's out front all by himself. Magnificent style for this emerging international superstar. He's had a struggle. Here's Aldana. He's out of it. Oh, frustration, Ken.
There's Ron Pierce. He is now running in the second position. Patrick Pons, the great French rider, in third.
Attrition starting to take its toll. Here is Baldwin all the way into fourth position from
Dave Aldana, one of the guys we didn't want to see here just yet. What on earth happened right near the end there?
I was, as I caught up to Dale Singleton, I thought that if I just stayed behind him, I'd make a race for the end. And so I had it in my mind just to take it easy with the motor and not over-rev it or do anything to abuse the engine. And so I was just hanging in there. And then the last lap when I came in there, something just started to let loose right away, right on the start-finish line. But you can see I only went about another 100 feet after it started making a noise. So I don't know exactly what happened, but something let go downstairs in the big end or something. So I really don't know what, but it just quit. Just sorry that I let everybody down.
One of the nice guys, Aldana out. Singleton seems to be on his way.
Singleton won here as an amateur 6 years ago, attracted the attention of Taylor White, who's been helping him ever since, and now they're on their way to victory in the biggest race of the year. Dale Singleton with soft-spoken artist Ron Pierce running in that number 2 spot as we work our way through the final lap. Singleton out onto the banking at 180 miles an hour, now just praying that that machine will hold together, that Stuart Toomey's done his homework. What a moment this is going to be. Here's Pierce. Second place rider, attrition taking its toll, Pons falling back, Von Duelman falling out, Pierce en route to a runner-up finish here as the leader comes through the chicane for the final time.
Two other favorites, Axlin and Romero, have retired from the event.
The biggest moment in racing for Ron Pierce, his best finish ever at Daytona as he knifes into the chicane, trailing this man, Dale Singleton, by some 15 seconds at the conclusion of the Daytona 200.
East end of the speedway, final time on the banking for Dale Singleton, just praying it stays together.
$12,000 worth of motorcycle underneath him. He can win more than that right now as he comes to the line and wins the Daytona 200. Singleton is champ.
Number 97, Ron Pierce, veteran rider, coming down for second place. His best finish ever in this event, the father of two, coming to the stripe. It'll be Pierce in second. The big story right here. Dale Singleton wins it. David Hobbs Bob's with him in victory lane.
Dale Singleton from Dalton, Georgia, the second privateer only to win this Daytona 200. How do you feel?
Well, I feel so good. I don't know. It's this is what I came down here for, and it's a dream come true for me. It really is. I'm so happy, and everything just went perfect for me. Excellent.
As you review the final standings, the pig farmer who covers to read motorcycle magazines at night is at the pinnacle.